You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's
amazing.
possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber. Awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
You're listening to America's Diesel Podcast.
We were talking about this when we went camping. My buddy Keith that lives down the road from me. He's got
Was that Mrs. Keith?
Sure, yeah.
Because he got Duramax.
Yeah.
Hey, we're like 3 seconds in first Duramax joke. Sorry.
Anyways, he's like, did you see that dead deer that's like right in Hatch on Hatch Road? I'm like, no, dude, no. He's like, it's all bloated and whatnot. We come back from camping. The deer's still there. This is the funniest shit. Someone fucking went to the store and got a get well soon balloon and wrapped it around the deer's foot, dude. And they're like, what is going on? And so this bloated ass deer is in the middle, like it's not in the middle of the road, but it's off to the side of the road. And you just see this balloon hanging from it, and we drive by and it just says get well soon. Like somebody literally went to the store, bought a balloon, and went up to that stinky ass bloated deer and put it on his hoof. Get well soon. And like my wife, she like hates seeing like dead deer, and she always like closes her eyes or like waits wait for it to pass. This time she like didn't and saw the sign, and we couldn't help but just break up laughing. Like that's epic right there. Get well soon, bud. As he's just bloated, like.
Oh my god.
Like that's roadkill.
That kind of stuff just, you can tell by my laughing. It just, someone took the time.
Someone took the time. We're like, oh, deer's still there. I'm going to head up to freaking the party store and get a get well soon balloon.
Especially in that area. There's not a store nearby.
No, you got to like go.
Yes,
you have to.
At least. It's like a total exit away.
Dude, it makes me want to like, and it was filled with helium too. Like it was floating there. Like I couldn't just like buy a handful of balloons and just have them on hand next time I see roadkill.
Especially because it says get well. No one just has that.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be different if it was like a for sale sign. I don't know, a for sale sign.
I know.
Fucking get well soon.
Get well soon balloon. Yeah. Then I started thinking, I was like, wow, if I started doing that with like every like roadkill that I saw, could you imagine? I get a get well soon balloon and like hang it from a squirrel, and it just takes off in the air, and it's just like floating around the county on this like get well soon balloon. This dead ass squirrel.
The other side of that is, let's say he did happen to have a get well soon. He decided the person that was supposed to get it, nah, dog.
No, I got this dead deer right here.
This dead deer.
I got a moment. This is my moment.
Sorry, Grandma.
Yeah. Hope the card in the flowers works, but the balloon, nah. That's for freaking Rudolph over here. And I think it's there on that same road we have a deer crossing sign, and somebody put a red sticker on the nose of the deer for like Rudolph. I bet you it's the same guy.
I bet you it's the same guy that cuts over the roundabout. I guarantee it's
right. Dude, another guy did, dude. I need to start an Instagram page for that. That'll be the only time I post. It will be on my roundabout update.
I recently drove by that, and I was like, oh, the tracks are still there. And I came back down the backside of it, and there's like a dirt trail. Someone's really getting it.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if that front end comes off the ground when they hit the peak of that. Like, that's... Oh, gosh. Well, that's how we start the podcast.
That's good.
It was so funny. I'm like, does that say it says get well soon? I'm like, oh my God, that's epic. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Thanks, June, and this is Ben and Tyler from America's Diesel Podcast. Coming at you with the heaters. I hope we just brighten your day, because we're about to talk about some real dumb shit. I gotta spit.
Well, this is America's Diesel Podcast.
All that laughing just...
Yeah. Oh, first thing you might notice are sweet new shirts. For you listeners out there, it says Prestige Worldwide presents
Wide.
Boats and Hose. Gotta have me my boats and hose.
Thank you, Freight Shake and Jake.
Freight Shake and Jake.
We finally coordinated.
Yeah.
They're nice shirts, dude. Like, I went home and washed mine.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tyler, we're going to wear them for the podcast. And literally the last 3 weeks, I'm like, do you wear your shirt? He's like, no.
I wore it yesterday.
I wore it yesterday. And he finally, today, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm wearing my shirt. I was like, sick, mine's in my office.
Yeah, he's been holding on to it in his office. I've enjoyed this shirt on multiple occasions. It's been washed already 3 times. It fits nice. It's a nice shirt.
Make sure to check us out on all normal podcast avenues, Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, by searching America's Diesel Podcast. Make sure and check out our social medias. We do have an Instagram account that is ran by me. We do go live on there every Wednesday, right around 5 p.m. Pacific time. Come have a beer with the boys. Possibly hear about more other funny shit like get well soon balloons on roadkill. Tyler reviews.
Oh, let's keep those reviews coming in. Keep the downloads going. Guys, we are seriously moving up in the ranks, and it is freaking awesome. We have consistently been in the top 30. Right now, I believe we're about 25. It may change after some more episodes drop, but doing the 2 a week, you guys seem to enjoy that, and we enjoy doing them. So let's keep it moving. We are in spitting distance. Not that I'm going to spit on you, okay? Ben might, but we are in spitting distance of our quote-unquote competitor in the podcast. We're not necessarily a competitor because we kind of talk about different stuff, but it's just something that'd be cool. It'd be just a little feather in our cap if we could be the #1 diesel podcast in America. So yeah, keep those reviews coming in. Leave a review on any of the platforms that Ben mentioned. Screenshot that 5-star review. Send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure you include a picture of your truck and an address that we can send a decal to. It looks just like the logo on my hat.
Lastly, if you need parts for your diesel pickup, check out dieselpowerproducts.com. We got parts in stock, ready to rock all the time. If you're looking at a part and you see the Quick Ship logo, that's verified in stock. Let it fly, get it going ASAP. If you have questions on that part, make sure to reach out. We've got sales technicians on the phone 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. They will get you your questions answered. You may get Corey on the phone. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Mom. Wait.
Yeah. I'm not your mom.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey. You may talk to him. You may get one of our other guys, but they will make sure and get you the best tech support and advice in the industry. If you are a podcast listener, which congratulations, you are listening to a podcast. You made it. Make sure and let them know. Or if you're placing an order online in the order notes section, write podcast. I go through there and tally them up at the end of the month. Make sure the big guys know upstairs that we are not just farting around down here drinking beer, but we are farting around drinking beer, making money. Because money makes the world go round.
Called content.
Shit ain't free.
Yeah. First things first, real quick. Driver forced to sell a stock Hyundai Elantra. This is obviously fake, but why do they have
No,
Lindsey?
it's real.
Why do they have Lindsey Graham in a cop outfit for California?
I have no idea.
Anyways.
Yeah, make sure to let them know that you're a podcast listener. You receive absolutely nothing except special attention from me and knowing that you're helping support the podcast that is your favorite about diesel stuff in general. And let's get into this episode. So, first, do you have something you want to talk about first, or should we talk about this thing? Because I know some of our listeners.
We can talk about this thing. I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't even know what this episode's about, to be quite honest with you.
And that's why you love us. So, if it's your first episode, or maybe you didn't know, I am a former Californian, and I came across this, and it looks like it's obviously gone fairly viral, but it took a while to get to me because apparently I'm not their target audience anymore. But there is a Hyundai Elantra that got pulled over.
It's Hyundai.
Elantra that got pulled over in California, and the cop that pulled him over is out in Riverside, Southern California somewhere, I can't remember. Took some liberties with it, and he's basically stuck literally between a rock and a hard place. This is a 100% stock car. Okay, stock, factory. And he was driving on the street in track mode. Okay? And if you're not familiar with a lot of newer cars, especially if it's a Hyundai Elantra N, which is like a sportier version of it. I mean, okay, it's still a Honda, right? Don't get me wrong, right, guys? But it's like, it's got track mode on there. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
And I guess he was driving on track mode, and that they have valves in the exhaust and makes it run a certain way because it's supposed to be more aggressive. And it had a couple of loud pops, and a cop pulled him over and was like, "Were you driving in track mode?" And apparently, the kid that has, he's like 20-year-old kid, just bought the car. And
first of all, when you talk to the 20-year-old kid, because why a Hyundai, like for real?
He's in California, man.
Elantra.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Whatever. Yeah. And he was basically like, "Oh yeah, you can't be driving on the street with that." And he's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I'll be honest, like if I got pulled over in California and I was 20 and a cop in this day and age, and the cop was like, "You can't drive in the track mode." First off, I'd be kind of like, "I don't believe you," but also, I'd believe him. I'd be like, "Okay, like, sorry."
I wouldn't believe him. I'd be like, "Listen here, deputy. This car I bought it in California from a California dealer. That is a California emissions car. Everything that is encompassed within that car is street legal, because Hyundai, especially Hyundai, is not going to release a track only car. That's ridiculous. How many Lambos is he pulling over in track mode? How many Ferraris is he pulling over in probably not.
And this is where things get kind of weird too. So they told the kid, "Well, you need to go get this fixed and then take it to a referee to have them sign off on it that this has been fixed." And he's like, "Well, how do I fix it? This car is stock.
Yeah,
it's on track." Well, and then a cop, and this is like during a traffic stop, the cop basically tells them you have to go to the dealership and they have to, fix the popping issue and remove the track feature from the vehicle. And he's like,
how about no?
So he took it to the dealership and they were performing an inspection on it. They're like, "The car's fine.
Yeah,
there's no problems." So then he takes it to the referee, and the referee's like, "Well, what was the referee? They tested it, and it didn't pass their test, and so now they're making him go get it fixed again." And he's like, "Well, I can't fix it. There's nothing wrong." So he went all the way up through the ranks and Hyundai, and they're basically telling him it's a stock car. You figure it out.
Yeah.
And so this kid's like, "Well, what the hell?" And they suspended his registration on site, so he was able to drive it home and couldn't drive it anywhere else.
Oh God, California.
Yeah. So
when is that freaking earthquake gonna hit? That's just gonna sink that whole, just detach that whole state.
We could do ourselves a Loma Prieta, but about, I don't know, 300 miles east, about the shape of California. Go from about Sacramento south. Keep everything from Sacramento north.
Yeah, I'll be out there with that jackhammer like I was talking about.
Yeah, I feel for the kid because he's probably got to lawyer up now, and he's got this car that.
Well, he should win.
He should, but it's
I think it's one officer that's just kind of being a dick. He probably had a bad day.
Yeah, but a cop with a bad day, and you don't fight it, soon enough. You've got this stuff going against you, and now it's like, well, what do you do?
I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed. Like that.
But this is an evolving situation. I think it's probably happened like at the end of last month.
Is there any more down below?
There's the actual there's 2 videos. But yeah, it's pretty erroneous, and it makes me pretty angry because I feel for the kid, and I do feel a little bit for the law enforcement officer because I honestly feel like he doesn't know enough to make these kind of accusations. But the fact that he feels like he does, he overstepped.
I don't really feel bad for him. I feel like if you're going to sign up to be in that line of work, you should know this stuff better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And especially knowing it's like a stock car, and there's plenty of other, vehicles out there that have for gosh sakes, my wife's freaking Trailhawk Jeep, that last Jeep she had a sport mode or but like there's other vehicles that have modes like that, and that's just absurd.
It just goes to the point where they're going to be trying to, I remember there was talk even when I was early on in my automotive career about OBD3, which would basically be like a Big Brother type deal. Like there'd be wireless control on it, the satellite control. Yeah,
I mean at that point, what does he start suing Hyundai because they sold him a car that is quote unquote illegal to run in California?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it's a load of baloney.
It is a load of baloney.
I will on the YouTube page. I will make sure that we get the link that I used to find these 2 things. It's not like super hard to find. I just didn't get it until
I don't know. Honestly, at this point with this kind of stuff and everything that's been going on in California, I don't know how a car guy could like stay there and like live there. Like I get like, California is a beautiful state. Mm-hmm. It's probably, let's be completely honest. It's probably one of the most beautiful states in all of the United States. Like it's the scenery that California has. Yeah. I mean, you get everything from, those giant freaking tree forests to mountains to beach to desert to,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just sad that certain people have taken over and taken the fun out of our God-given hobby of automobiles and trucks and whatnot.
Well, in California used to be like I wouldn't say used to be, I don't know if I would say the Mecca, but I mean it was a car.
Oh, 100%. There's so many hot rod shops that got started up down there. I mean,
the culture was like
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got Route 66 down there.
Yeah.
And now it's like they're literally trying to like delete that part of their history down there versus like embracing it and that's sad.
It is.
On to other news. 2023 Ram, the Rebel platform. Kind of a cool, it's definitely a little bit more sporty, kind of,
mm-hmm.
off-roady, if that's a word, off-roaderish. They're going to finally start putting, which I wish they would have done this earlier with like the Power Wagon models, because they could have with a 3rd gen Power Wagon.
Yeah.
Like why didn't they do a Cummins option? Because you could, at least on those generations of trucks, you could have put a winch in the bumper, but now the bumper is occupied with a giant intercooler, so you can't really put a winch in there. But they are going to offer the Rebel platform with a Cummins, which is awesome. It has the new style. You could check it out now. It's got the new style mirrors, which I actually like. Ben's probably not going to like them because the measurements are off.
Okay. All right.
I do like the hood scoop though. The hood scoop is cool. Like it's a much more aggressive looking. I'm not a huge fan of the grill. I don't like that grill design. If you could get a different grill for it, I'd be all about it. But I like the hood. I like the hood scoop. I like the color match grill and bumper combination. I've always said 5th gen headlights I think are my favorite. And yeah, I do like the new mirrors.
I like them too. And the reason
what do you hate about them, Ben? Let's hear it.
I don't hate anything about them. Well, what I was mentioning before is, Ram mirrors have basically been the same, like 3rd gen all the way out, with, the iconic, moose mirrors, they flip up. But for me, being a Ford guy, especially, like I like the fact that, the mirror is wider. There's just a bigger field of view. And I get that when your mirrors are flipped down, you have that. But as soon as you flip them up for towing, now you've got tons of vertical, which I get.
I want to argue with you about it, but I have to kind of agree with you a little bit.
Ooh.
I do. I know. Yeah. I do. Just because I tow my trailer all the time, and I definitely, there's been some times where it's like, God, it's kind of a weird angle. Like I find myself sometimes adjusting my mirror a little bit more, even after I've been driving, like on the highway. Like if I'm parking, I might adjust it a little bit more instead of having that wider range that you can see. But all in all, I mean, like that platform with a Cummins, like that's pretty damn cool, right? Like the hood scoop and everything. It looks almost like a new version of an SRT like truck hood, which is cool. What's on our mega cab here. I dig them. I think they're and I know I'm biased because I own one, but I think they're probably one of the best looking new trucks that are out there. They didn't go too big on anything, like like GM's, like the grill and like all that. It proportionally it looks off. I think Ram hit the nail on the head with these 5th gen trucks. I really like them. I like them a hell of a lot better than the 4th gen front ends myself. And again, I'm probably biased just because I own one, but hey,
I think the all blacked out front end, to me it looks like an unfinished vehicle. Well, like if it's a blacked out front end because the rest of the truck is black, that's fine. But when I see like a black grill with a black bumper, but the rest of the truck is red, it's kind of like,
no, it does have black rockers and it has black fender flares. I mean, there's a lot of black wheels. I mean, it's got a lot of black accents on it. I think it looks good. Keep scrolling down. Is there another picture of it, side shot or something?
It just seems to me like you bought stuff that was paint ready and just never painted it.
Those dumber pictures. That sucks. I think that's a clean looking truck, dude. Like with those rockers, that color. I mean, come on now.
I think if it at least had like a paint matched grill, it would be but with the black bumper, it would still be fine. But the grill just makes it seem like you just replaced it and never painted it.
What do you know? I think you suck. No, I can see. I mean, that is reminiscent to me of like work trucks.
Yep.
Like the really, really low equipped tradesmen's. But I still dig it. So that's obviously a Hemi because it's got a winch. Go back up to the other picture where it had the, I don't know if it was above.
No winch.
Okay, no winch. Okay, yeah. Okay. I was going to say.
And I see a Cummins badge on there.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, it's kind of a bummer that at least, it's going to be a power wagon, but you're not going to get a factory winch.
Well, it's not a power wagon. It's a Rebel.
Oh, sorry. Rebel. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I still think too, like it's got Ram boxes. I love those Ram boxes.
I think Ram
that
boxes
is such
are
a
super
good
awesome.
idea.
I freaking love those things.
Especially if you're an outdoorsman, like you put your rifle in there. Because they have gun mounts, so you put a rifle in there. They have fishing pole holders for you anglers out there, or just storage for like your hitch or I mean other things. I think they're super convenient. I wish I could have got them, but they don't have them for an 8-foot bed, and I had a side-by-side rack in my truck, so that wouldn't have worked. But because it does take a lot of bed space. I mean, the top of the bed rails is like a foot wide. And it does cut a lot of your bed space out. But if you're not like hauling a lot of stuff in your bed, I think it's a great idea because you put some of that stuff inside and lock it up, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for bed space, and I feel like, don't quote me on this, I don't think Ford would ever do it. But I think if Ford did something similar like that on the Illumi Duty beds, that just because of the overall shape of the vehicle, I don't think you would lose as much bed space as you do on the Rams for some reason. For some reason, to me, Ram beds are just a little bit smaller. Like, I don't know what it is, but maybe because Ford is superior, but whatever. Who's counting? That's not real. Like I just for some reason I see that being like if someone else is going to make a Ram box type thing, the only way that they're going to be able to hang their hat on it is like, well, you get the storage, but you still get more bed space than Ram, and I think that's going to be the happy medium. I think it's rad.
I don't think anybody's going to do it.
I don't think so either. I think they kind of cornered the market on that one. They can have it.
So this was hilarious. Take it away, buddy.
I came across this one. So you guys have heard us talk about the heavy half tons. And then you've heard us talk about the Ford Lightnings. and how much.
Which is not a Ford Lightning, original Ford Lightning.
No, we're talking about the hybrid. No, the all electric. Sorry, it's not even a hybrid.
No.
But
they probably would have sold a hell of a lot more of them if it was a hybrid.
Yeah. But the decreased towing capacity once you do hook up on a Ford Lightning, and also I'm going to touch on this a little bit too, but also the cold, like electric vehicles do not do well in the cold.
Yeah.
This is a known fact. Like people have talked about their Teslas, like there's just chewing through batteries in the cold.
Oh yeah.
Which is understandable. But I came across a picture. This is in one of the groups. I think it was. Probably if you didn't know this, I didn't put it in the intro, but we do have a Facebook group. It's America's Diesel Podcast, the group on Facebook.
Fantastic.
Great group. Highly recommend you join. I think someone posted in there. Honestly, I can't remember where I found it. But it's a Ford Lightning, and in part of the packet that comes with it, it literally says, your pickup is not, all capitals, not recommended for carrying a slide-in camper.
Yeah. Which, here's the thing. I will give them the benefit of the doubt here. There's not a lot of people that put sliding campers in F-150 trucks. Most of the time, they're putting them in 3/4-ton trucks. But just the simple fact that they have to state that, knowing that people are going to try it, it's just hilarious. Because it's like, yeah, this truck won't tow anything. Like, that's basically them admitting it.
And don't really plan on putting anything
in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though we have this big bed.
Yeah, with all these tie-down
with all these tie-down points. But don't put anything back there.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's just for show, but it looks really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And what I want to touch on in this is there's a guy that I follow and watch on YouTube a lot, Talon Sai, and he does a lot of outdoorsy. I originally started following him for gun content, but he does a lot of basically like motorcycles, cars, guns, knives, camping, like
So man shit.
But he's definitely not one of those, like, he's not like a redneck backwoods. He's like, yeah, he's like a. If he hears this, he's probably gonna hate me using this term, but he's like a 21st century digital boy. You know, if you know that song.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not like some city boy. He still has like a one wheel and an e-bike for scooting around town, but he also has a modded out van.
Yeah.
He calls it a sat van, and he has a modded out Tacoma, and he goes out camping almost every weekend to shoot shit.
Okay.
And rides e-bikes during the week in a one wheel, and he's all over the map. And he just like do what I want. Like,
Yeah.
This shit's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also does a lot of reviews on like electric skateboards. He's like, but he does really high quality videos, which is why I think a lot of manufacturers end up just sending him shit because he's really analytical about stuff.
Yeah.
So cheers to him. If you don't follow him, you should. I mean, again, he's like all over the map with what he does, but pretty much if you're listening to this, he's probably in line with what you're wanting to watch anyways. But a video of his came out, I want to say today or yesterday, about he went camping with one of his buddies that bought a Ford Lightning that has larger tires on it. And they took it camping, and he's the final review on it was like, it's basically what me and Tyler have been talking about since day one. Is like, is it a truck? Yes. Were you able to get out and go camping? Yes. Did you get stuck? No. Were you comfortable? Yes. What was the drawback? Well, we had to stop, right before we like got to the campsite to recharge. And once we got to the campsite, I can't go anywhere because once we get there, I got to drive back because I don't want to, I can't lose charge. And luckily tonight, it's not going to be super cold. So we're going to be good tomorrow morning. All the kind of shit that you don't want to have to think about when you're going camping.
You're thinking about.
You want to know that, did I bring enough blankets?
Yeah.
It's going to be cold tonight. Did I bring a blanket? Not will my truck start? Or B, not
Will
one,
it
A,
get
B,
out
two,
of here?
Can I actually drive it?
Yeah.
So that was once the infrastructure comes up for that, maybe there'll be something different, but still, I don't think it's going to handle what it needs to. And that actually, go ahead, because I'm going to transition to something else too.
Well, I was going to say, I could totally see like some overlander guys like taking a Ford F-150 Lightning and like doing the whole overlanding thing with it.
Uh-huh.
And like, they'll show up to like shows, and show it off.
Uh-huh.
None of those guys are using it. Guaranteed. Like, this is none of them. Because as soon as you start putting all that weight in there, like, what's that guy, Hoovy?
Yeah.
He was towing that freaking aluminum trailer with nothing on it, and it was like losing charge like instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, you put like even just like a camper shell and like outfit the back with maybe like one of those decked things and put like a bed in there and like you can make some things. At that point, you're basically adding that amount of weight.
And it's got bigger wheels and tires.
It had bigger wheels and tires, which I'm sure doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a virtue signaling truck, is what it is.
Yeah. He did say though, and this is one reason why I like him. He's like, I'll be honest, like, and this is maybe like a lot of us growing up. He goes, when I was driving around, it's quiet. I had the windows down, and like I was driving down these dirt roads, and like I literally felt like I was almost kind of riding a bike, or like it was quiet. I knew that I wasn't gonna sneak up on anything. I knew I wasn't gonna any of that stuff. It was comfortable. Like the ride was very soft.
I mean, so was a regular F-150 that's gas powered.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like to hear the engine. I like to hear. It lets me know when there's something going wrong too, because I can hear it.
Yeah, that's very true. So the other thing I'm gonna transition now to is that guy that we saw a picture of that put the generator back of his Tesla.
Yeah.
He's finally completed his road trip.
So can he charge it while he's driving?
Yeah.
Oh, that's epic.
He did. He had the generator like ripping at the hotels at night.
No, I know, but I was
while he was driving.
And while he was driving.
Yeah.
So does it like actually make a huge difference?
He basically did like I want to say it was like a 2,000-mile trip without plugging in once. And he was able to do it, and he was able to the way he put it was like he was almost able to road trip like you would just normally road trip, where you just don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But he still had to like do a lot of stuff to consider it. And also this thing was literally running full throttle, like at the hotels while he's driving everywhere.
So one question I would have for him on that particular setup, like there's a ton of like quiet generators out there. Like why couldn't he have retrofitted like one of those Honda quiet generators instead of the loud like thing with titanium exhaust?
I think maybe for one of two reasons. He's probably because I've started watching some of his other stuff. He's very like super analytical.
Yeah.
Very smart. But I think part of it was weight and how much it could generate with that. I also think part of it was kind of like a middle finger. It's kind of like,
okay,
so
I can respect that.
This is how you want me to run this, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Because he modded that engine to produce the power that he wanted. And it ended up not being enough. So he was.
No, I know, but like, if just in like an out of the box, like Honda EU 9000, like the, I used to use one, and they're a quiet generator. Like I've got a 4500 Cummins Onan in my trailer now, which is still quieter than that. I'm not like pissed about the noise thing. I'm just curious on like, because it just seems like that would have been a like already encompassed package. Like, I don't know. I maybe he has an explanation.
He very well might. He probably. I'll have to go back and watch some of his earlier videos, and maybe he has some of that. But the best part is he calculated, basically how much fuel he used in that thing. To keep going and all that. And at the end of the day, he was getting around, and he was usually going anywhere between like 60 and 72 miles an hour, roughly.
Yeah.
It was only like, I want to say like 18 miles a gallon, 16 miles a gallon or something like that, with like
running the gen,
yeah.
But so if he's driving the car, running the gen while he's driving, and it's charging as he's driving, did that negate all his stops? Like, did he have to stop and let it charge for a while before he could keep going? Or if he was running it, could he just continuously go?
So that was his thing. He was like, I want to see if I can just drive this as I would for a normal thing. We're like, yeah, you have to stop for gas every, 300 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles, something like that. He's like, so I'm not trying to like long haul this thing.
Right.
But I want to see if I can do it without like, I have to stop just because I need fuel.
Right.
As opposed to like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to do that and get gas at the same time.
Right.
And so that was his thing. And he was basically able to do that.
Well, yeah, I would be curious if let's say the generator had a constant fuel supply, like
Mhm.
just whatever on tap, regardless of weight. Let's just say
Mhm.
that generator would just run the whole time. Could he drive around the car without ever stopping because the generator is running?
No.
So it would still like the it wouldn't keep up,
Right.
basically. Still,
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah. And so as far as his fuel consumption, and especially because, like I mentioned before, like it was running the entire time.
Yeah. Do you know what it sounds like the option, the best option is for people looking for that? Probably a diesel car.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, that's a lot of engineering to get to still have to stop when you could just have like a diesel car, like it's like 45 miles to the gallon, and just send it.
And also, I bet you a highly efficient diesel engine in there probably costs a hell of a lot less to manufacture.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're not having to deplete, and get batteries from.
Yeah, I feel like these electric car people are like trying to come up with solutions for problems that don't even exist.
Or they're making their own problems.
They're making their own problems in the process.
Yeah.
It's just
Like why don't we just start making really, 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 really good, really efficient, smaller diesel engines for these cars?
Yeah. You get killer mileage and have clean burning emissions. Which, by the way, they just discontinued the EcoDiesel in the Rams. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
We're going backwards.
So, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. Get that freaking lightning off the screen.
Yeah.
It's not a lightning.
But the video of his is pretty good too. Like when he comes out of the hotel every morning, he's like, I kind of have to park far away from the hotel. And you come out, he walks out of the hotel, you're like, brrr, and you get closer, you're like, well, that's not that loud. And he starts getting closer, like, fuck.
It's like a guy literally running a snowblower, like in just
Full tilt.
full tilt.
Yeah.
Like,
And he got pulled over a couple times.
I bet.
He got pulled over for one of the times for going too slow.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll pull you over for anything these days.
Well, he was going like, I want to say he's doing like 45 or 50 and like a 65.
Oh.
And the cop pulled him over.
What's up, bro? You okay?
He's like, and he explained to him, he's like, yeah, I got this generator going. He's like, hey, I got this generator.
It's charging my car.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll go up there, and when I get, I'll go 70, but then when it needs to charge, I'll just pull over. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
All right. What else you got?
Because he's kind of like an East Coast guy. He's really nice, but really smart.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go 75 when I have to, because of the hybrid. It's electric, so I'll not charge. I'll just pull over off the side of the road.
Yeah.
Does that work? Is that okay? Okay. All right. Just trying to follow the rules.
Seriously. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Was that all you got for me on that one?
On that one, yeah.
Oh.
Well, and then he did also, I saw the full clip of him when he stops at that pontoon boat with the freaking
Have
turbine
we
on it.
heard any sort of news with that? Because
He's working on it.
I have a feeling the next news I'm going to hear on that is
Local
gonna be,
man blows up.
Local man with a pontoon has
With 4,800 pounds of thrust.
hit a wave and it started sending itself into the freaking atmosphere.
And they get it turned over and started up. And my favorite part is the gauge pack that he has is from the actual airplane that it came from.
Yeah.
And 2 of the gauges are ISPRO.
No shit.
Yeah. The guy's like,
Shout out to Ispro.
he's like, are these the original gauges from the aircraft? He's like, yeah. Like, oh, cool. And you look at it, 2 of them say ISPRO. He's like, yeah.
Right
on, dude. One is a pyrometer.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's going to be, I want to make sure he should do a live when he launches that thing and sends it.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be, it's either going to go really cool or it's going to be really devastating for his family and friends.
Yeah, the way that he has it attached to the pontoon is pretty. It's like 5/8 inch plate.
some self tappers.
Just so you guys know that. So what I'm talking about as far as the guy with the Tesla, his YouTube channel is Warped Perception. If you don't follow him, you should. He's got 1.25 million subscribers, so obviously he's not some Yahoo out there, but he's
not hurting for subscribers. So if you don't,
yeah, he's making some cool stuff. He has anything from like World's smallest V8 engine hits 10,500 RPMs on nitro. It's a 28cc engine and it's dual over cam.
What's it called? Warp perception.
Warped perception.
WP.
Yeah. So let me scroll to the end of this episode. I'll tell you what he found as far as fuel consumption and mileage goes. Let me see here. Oh, there it is.
He calls it his cordless Tesla.
Okay, so he found so at 80 miles an hour, he was essentially getting 14 miles a gallon. At 70 miles an hour, 18, 60, 19, and 50, 24 miles a gallon. And those, basically the equivalents of how many watts per mile he was consuming from the battery. But yeah, it was an 1,800 mile road trip. It was pretty good. I highly recommend you guys watch that video. If you do comment that you heard about him from this podcast, we'll probably not get anything from it, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
All right.
Are we making this announcement right now, Corey? You want to?
Yeah, go.
I don't even know about this freaking announcement.
Corey just typed it up for us to read. So we're going to close out this episode with a very, very important announcement. If you've been listening this long, thank you. This is a very, very important thing. It's tremendous. Small hands, impressive. We're doing a rate my ride. We've talked about it. We finally figured it out.
Or rip my ride.
Yeah. Here's what we're going to do. And I'll also post other places about this as well. But you heard it here first on this episode. If this is the first time you've heard it, because we're probably going to mention it live that we're filming in a couple minutes. So we are going to be accepting the first 20 trucks. Okay. We're capping it at 20 because I know there's a lot of you guys out there. But please... And here's the thing: we're gonna have all of them sent to Corey. I'll give you his email address in a minute here, because some of your guys' trucks I may know, okay, but a lot of them I don't know, like name of person, all kind of stuff. So Corey is gonna get all the trucks. He's gonna organize everything, and then he's gonna show them to us during the live episode. Well, okay. I'm sorry, not the live. He's gonna show them to us during the episode.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna talk about him. His email address, as you can guess, it's very similar to everybody else's here, but it's Corey
with a C.
Yeah. I'm going to spell it out here. Corey at dieselpowerproducts.com. That's Corey, Cory, at dieselpowerproducts.com. And in the subject line, just make sure you put something that says, AGP Rate My Ride episode, podcast Rate My Ride, because he's still, he gets, tech email questions from customers as well. So make sure that he knows you're not just sending a truck in for no apparent reason, but this is for, the Rate My Ride. Include, I would say, up to 3 pictures. Give us a little, mod list, a blurb about the truck, what you use it for. Keep it short, keep it simple.
Yeah, we don't want a paragraph.
Yeah, keep it, throw a little sass in there if you like.
Yeah.
Take your time with it, but don't make us take our time reading it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then we're gonna rate them during an episode. And keep in mind, if we're doing 20 of them, we can't talk about every truck for 15 minutes. We're gonna be kind of ripping through these things. So make the pictures count. And we are gonna have some awards. I'm not sure what they're gonna be yet. But we are going to cap it at 20 trucks, and we are literally going by the timestamp on the email that you send.
This should be one of our first awards we send out because we have 2 of them.
Yeah, the Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, we'll send out Sleepy Joe to go sleep with you. He'll really like that, I'm sure.
So this episode is actually, by the time you guys probably hear this episode, because should we not mention the lives? Should this be the first time?
I think it still gets mentioned in the live. I mean, it's kind of a reward for the people that jump into the live. I think that's fair.
That's right.
So yeah, straight up, I agree. Nice work, Corey.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for today.
Yeah. Star.
Mom's gonna be proud.
Someday you guys will understand why that's funny. Corey laughs his ass off every time that happens, but. Send your trucks to Corey at dieselpowerproducts.com, just like the website, Cory at dieselpowerproducts.com. We're capping it at 20, and we'll have an episode coming out in the near future rating these trucks. And it's 5 p.m. here right now, and that means it's time for us to hop on a live on the Instagram page. So
see you there.
We'll see you there. If you're listening to this, obviously, if it's 2 a.m, you listen to this, it's not about to be 5. But use your brain, please.
Yeah,
okay?
Come on.
I don't want to get any of these messages where like, I hopped on the live after you said it was live on the episode. Like, when did you listen to it?
3 a.m.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you what time it is during the episode right now. It's 5.
Yeah.
Where I am, it's 5.
All right.
Why does it sound like meat drapes when I say it? It's Madropides. It's Greek, sir.
Madropides.
Meat drapes!
Meat drapes.
Name that movie. Receive absolutely nothing, but that's the kind of movies we like. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.